Hey guys, Kevin, Muddy River Tactical. Today I want to do a product spotlight. This is getting into the time of year. As you can see, it's nice outside. It's June. It's starting to become short weather. Going to the pool, going to different things, and your wardrobe just changes a little bit. In summer, it gets more difficult to concealed carry for a lot of people. You're wearing lighter clothes, different clothes. It's just a different process. So that's why today I want to show you our pocket holster. This is my go-to in the summer. You know, in the summer months, you're in shorts, jeans, it don't matter what you're in, you can throw this in your pocket and you're good to go. You're not worried about concealing it under a shirt or anything like that. So these work really well for that, especially on these smaller guns. I personally use the Bodyguard 2.0 as a pocket carry pistol. I would say any of the smaller size pistols are good. You start getting into larger size, they aren't as good for pocket carry as they just get too big for a normal pocket. So let's go to some of the characteristics. So I'm an oddball, I'm a left-handed, as you guys know. So the holster is curved to your body. You can see that curve. So I put mine in my left pocket. That's why it's curved like that. So the holster is riveted together for security, so you never have to worry about it. But it's also got two retention adjustment screws there. So when you're looking at pocket carry, you don't want super strong retention like you would on a outside the waistband holster or anything like that, because you still need to draw it from your pistol without, or draw it from the holster without bringing the whole thing out of your pocket. So on there, you can see mine, you want it to have retention where it holds the gun, because in your pocket, you don't want this coming out. The whole purpose is to protect your trigger guard so nothing can happen. But you also want it to be a smooth, easy to come out. But with this, you can adjust it however you want. The other main thing is if you look right here, it's a thumb, I say a thumb brake, but it's used to push off. So on these smaller pistols, it will extend like that a little bit. If you get into a little bit bigger size pistol, like a Glock 43 or something a little bit bigger, it won't extend as high, but it will be barely flared right there, where you have a way to push off of the holster to get it started. So for those of you that haven't had a pocket holster, I'll just put it in your pocket and kind of show you the drawing process. It's different than everything else that you've ever known. So when you grab the pistol from here, like say you're in a bad situation and you can just be standing in a store and have your hand on your pistol and nobody ever realize it, but it gives you that, so you can start pushing right here and you can start popping it out. But when you draw, you'll draw at a 45-degree angle, which this hook right there catches the corner of your pants. So I'll do it a little bit quicker just so you can see. And it just draws out, that way your holster is still in your pocket. So that makes it really easy. The bottom of this is also flat and they're all about the same width. We try to make them all the same width so they fit most pockets. I know every jeans are a little bit different. This is the closest size that we found that fits everything. So no matter if you got this size gun or a Glock 43, this distance will all be the same, but it's flat on the bottom. That way when it's in your pocket, it cannot rotate. It can't rotate anywhere. It just goes with your pocket. If it wasn't flat on the bottom, that whole gun would rotate over and it just wouldn't work as well. So as far as pants that you can wear on these, you know, it's only going to be as supportive as the pocket of your pants. So most shorts, most things like that. However, if you get into sweatpants and some like athletic shorts or whatever, it will still work. But mind you, it's only going to be as supportive as the pocket. There's nothing on this that holds it to your pants. So if you got athletic shorts and they're bouncing around, you're liable to lose your gun out your pocket. So just be mindful of that. You know, most shorts, most things like that aren't a problem, but don't put it in like athletic shorts where it's going to flop around. It's just not a safe way. The other key part about this that most other pocket holsters don't do that I've seen is we cover the mag release is covered on both sides. There's no way you can accidentally pop your mag out, which I've seen in a lot of pocket holsters, either not covered or they don't flare them enough where you sit down or whatever and your mag pops out and then you got a whole nother problem there. The sights on it are not covered. On our original models, we covered them. However, we ran into issues with drawing and different things like that, and also a few production issues. So the sights are notched out right there. It doesn't affect anything. It still will not fit optics. So if you have an optic on your pistol, pocket carry is not what you'll want to do for a multitude of reasons. The optic will offset. It will, like, think about if you're drawing right here and you had an optic, it's something else to snag on your pocket. It's just not as good of a setup for a pocket carry pistol. So overall, that's what I use in the summer. I think you guys will really like them. Another thing I want to point out super quick, people on pocket holsters always think, you know, they go in your pocket and they disappear, which they do. But if you look at all the things we have nowadays, like phones, like there's my personal phone in your pocket, people are so used to these big phones. I mean, that phone is bigger than this whole holster and pistol. So in pockets, as you can see, I put my phone in my pocket, you see an outline of it, which is fine, but nobody realizes what it is. So same thing here. You can see an outline because no matter what, this fabric is gonna move to your pocket, but nobody has any idea of what that is. If you're hyper focused on it, sure you will. But nowadays with people with all these big phones, keys, everything in their pocket, they don't relate that to anything. Like if you had something protruding right here, people would be like, okay, that's a gun. That's not supposed to be there. But in a day of age that we got these big phones, big pockets, big everything, you can get by with a lot more without having to say you can't personally see it all. Obviously, when you're wearing it, you know it's there, but just something to note there. It's kind of the culture we live in. Everything is like that. I've worn this, literally it's in my pocket every day and nobody ever knows the difference, and they know we're a holster company. They think I don't have a gun on because they don't see it on my waist or something. They don't relate pocket to anything like that, let alone the civilian market that aren't gun people. They'll never even realize it. So overall, just wanted to stop in, especially going, you know, it's a good option all year long, but especially going into the summer, check out one of our pocket holsters, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. Check them out at muddyrivertactical.com.